Hello everyone, welcome back to X-tricated, and it's your favorite co-host here today. So it's DB and there's KB. So
Favorites.
favorite. No, it's favorite. It's is it plural? Yeah, it's plural.
Well,
Yeah,
I had on it.
favorite.
One.
KB and DDB, right?
I had hosts, that's why I said favorites, as you not mentioned your name first. I wanted to know whether you think you are the favorite one here.
All right, so full confession, yeah. A lot of my friends have been asking to meet KB because they say his voice is sexy, and guess what? They're not guys, they're ladies. They want to hear his voice, and I don't understand. Me, I don't have a sexy voice. What kind of partiality is this?
Thank you to my fans out
Aye,
there.
hey.
Okay, today's episode is about the 2023 prediction for Nigeria. So we are going to be talking about a number of things. They all relate to economics and politics, basically. And as you already know, 2023 is an election year, which is why our first prediction is going to start with the presidential race.
Election, yes. So I saw someone said the war has already officially begun.
It has begun
Why?
Since almost the end of last year.
Yeah, but what the person was like saying was because of this whole Brimo talking. And I was like, why is it now that it's not now? They've started this since before. So me, I feel I don't want him to win, but I feel APC are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to retain the seat. That's what I feel. I believe so because
that's the prevalent opinion.
yeah, just like look at based on logic, right? Look at it. The APC are holding the seat right now. They do not want it to go. No matter how they want it to be, they would have to retain it for them to continue their work. So you just have to expect them to do the worst to keep it. Now that's just APC. Number 2, Jagaban, Asiwaju. Asiwaju has money. Whether it's blood money, whether it's drug money, whether it's real money, he has the money to pay off a whole lot of people. You understand? So this whole Muslim ticket they are doing, I don't feel it's going to be a problem, and I don't really care.
It actually is not a problem from the political standpoint.
Yes,
you understand?
exactly.
One of the reasons why people think that Tinubu is already actually I have something I want to say. I almost said that he's a runaway winner, but then he's not a runaway winner.
No, he's not actually
He's
a
not
runaway
a runaway
winner.
winner.
Yeah, because Atiku is there.
One thing, hold on
And
about
Obi there.
Atiku has been counted out of this race. I mean, wrongfully or rightfully so.
By who?
You understand? By most people from the international community. You know, they are the ones that are actually following it even more than we are. You understand?
But who do you think they want to win?
I feel like they want Peter Obi to win.
Yes.
They want Peter Obi to win.
Yeah.
But then they know that, or they feel that Tinubu is the one that has the lead.
Yes.
So one of the reasons why people think that he's going to win is because he has shown that he is actively trying to win the North.
Yeah.
And we all know that the North votes as a unit, basically. Anybody that they put their weight behind, that's usually the person that's going to win. Yes. It's hard to. I think
it looks like they're actually backing him right now at the moment.
So and with the you look at the problems brewing in PDP. You understand? Atiku is embattled right now, and we really don't know what to expect. As I said, Tinubu rather has been trying to win the North, but then I don't know how much the North trust him. That is another factor. You understand? And as much as I say that, okay, maybe people have counted Atiku out, there's always that silent majority. You understand? You know, the North will still want to vote for one of their own, that type of thing. And you know that it has been seen like majority of the years when it comes to election and everything. So who knows? It might still be. This election is one of the most divisive elections. It's one that we have actually seen 3 people from three different main ethnic groups in Nigeria. You understand? And everybody has their own agenda. Everybody has what they want and everything. Peter Obi is is the champion of the youths, basically. And with about is it 12 million new voters now? There are about 12 million new voters. There are 94 million voters registered currently. There are 12 million new voters. We don't know how many of those voters are actually
going to
vote. Number one are going to vote. Number two, how many of them are actually youths? Majority of them will still be first time voters. Not about this one. Of course, they are first time voters. Sorry, they are all first time voters, but we don't know how many of them are going to be youths, and we know that Peter will be the champion of the youth, and then there are still older people that are convinced that okay, let us try a change and what have you.
So what's your verdict? Who's going to
So for my verdict, I really do not know, but then I will follow those people who think that Tinubu is going to win. Even though I have a different person in mind to vote, but then from all indications, it seems like Tinubu is going to win the election.
I'm not voting for him. I'm not voting for Atiku, and I'm also not voting for Obi.
So who are you voting
I'm voting for Konkoso.
Voting for Konkoso.
Yeah.
We mentioned that we have three major ethnic groups. We forgot to mention that there's even a fourth.
Yeah.
The Fulani and the Hausa are not the same thing. You understand? So if you actually throw in Konkoso, you actually have a representative for the Hausa people too.
Yes. Fulani is this guy Atiku.
Yes.
Atiku is the Fulani. Then we have Konkoso, the Hausa, then Yoruba and Igbo, right?
Yes. So there's one thing though that INEC as at late last year, I think it was October or September, they mentioned that they are preparing for a possible runoff election.
Okay.
A runoff can happen, say, okay, the requirements to win election in Nigeria.
Yeah.
First of all, you have to have majority of the votes.
Yes.
That's number one. Number two, you have to have 25% in at least 24 states of Nigeria. That's 2/3 of the states. You have to have 25% of the votes. So imagine that, say, Tinubu gets majority of the votes. Tinubu gets 25% votes in at least 24 states, and Obi still manages to get majority of the votes. You understand? Obi has met one criteria, but he hasn't met the other. Tinubu has met one criterion. Whereas, but
English is hard, people.
But he didn't meet the other one. So that is what will lead to a runoff. This is like a second round of election now, more like election playoffs.
But do you know that, like, despite the fact that I think Asiwaju is going to win, I feel this is going to be one of the toughest and one of the historic.
It's going to be a serious election.
Why? Because
that's why I feel like the runoff is going to come.
I see Asiwaju is going to win. That's my prediction. But Obi can take this away. Why? Because see, no matter how you want to see Obi as, whether you're taking him serious or not as a real politician, right? Trust me, he has the backing of people beyond that are outside Nigeria, not just in Nigeria. He has the backing. You've got to look at the pictures.
And we
are not on BBC, pictures on CNN, pictures on France 24, and like when they are talking about this, they are actually paying attention to this.
And we keep on ignoring the fact that the international community actually kind of influences.
They actually do influence.
They were instrumental in bringing Buhari into power.
Yes,
you understand. So all those things can play. There are still factors. That can actually help.
Yeah, if it's based on brute force and everything, Asiwaju will win. But other factors can
getting down and dirty.
Other factors can come in and like influence Obi to win. But even if he's going to win, it's going to be a very close win. Very close. Very, 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 very close. Because the way Atiku is going to be bullied inside this election, it's not just Asiwaju that is going to bully him. It's Obi that will bully. Because I feel Obi has already taken Atiku's vote. To be honest. In the southwest,
yes, in the
southwest, in the south, and the southeast, he has taken his votes, but we'll see. So
and you know that especially the southeast and south, that's where PDP's real strength
lies. Yes, exactly.
The fact that those people aren't looking like they're going to support him right now is going to be a problem. And then Obi is obviously from the region, so it's even like lose now for Atiku. He's
yeah.
down 2-0 at this point. He can only depend on the North, and it doesn't. That
North.
That is the only thing that can save Atiku in this election, and we don't know whether Tinubu has done enough right now to convince the North
for the
Northeast.
For the Northeast, I don't believe he has, because I was in the Northeast throughout this break, and what I've heard from people that are in politics, my guys are in politics, is the fact that the what's it called, the population out there, right, majority, they don't like APC at the moment, right? The names that the what's it called, the work that you think this guy, what's his name, Zulum in my state, is doing, is not actually doing it at the moment, because people don't like him.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't really like what he has. There's something that he did, and then they label him as a bad person. So who came, Seth? Asiwaju came to Borno, and then they were throwing stones at him to some extent.
Okay.
So I don't know whether that is gonna work. And they don't like Atiku that much. Note it. They don't like Atiku. You understand? Adamawa said he will win that. Atiku is going to win Adamawa State.
Yeah, that's the state.
That's the state.
If you can't win the state, that's the problem.
That's the big problem. Yeah. So you see Gombe State, now that's where I think he has a stronghold, because it's a PDP place. Yeah, he has a stronghold. Bauchi, I'm not sure. Bauchi is not gonna win. Where else again? Jigawa is APC. APC will win that. You'll be APC. Borno's APC will still win in Borno. But in that state, it's going to be a mixture. I think APC will win. Then the rest, North Central, Northwest. Trust me, I don't see anything other than APC.
but I still believe that it's going to be a really close one. That is why the prediction is a runoff.
Yeah, that's your prediction, right?
And INEC is also predicting that. That's why they say they are getting ready in case it happens. They are probably praying it doesn't happen, because it's more of a logistic stress for them. But then they have to be prepared. They can't come and be caught lacking at that point.
I think this is the first time that like 3 major serious what's it called, candidates are coming out.
Yes, it's no longer a 2-horse race.
Yes, like there are 3 major, and the funny thing is that they come from the 3 major ethnic groups.
Yes.
Or 4 major ethnic groups you want to talk about in Nigeria. So what's next on the table? What are we predicting?
Okay, so
let's predict census. Census, I predict, this is a very short one. I predict that we're going to have a population of over at least 250 million.
Do you even think the census will still hold this year to start with?
They're even complaining about the budget at the moment. So
I mean, the census has been put off for a while now.
For almost 2 decades now.
How?
Yeah,
Exactly,
2006. That was the last time.
That's when we did last census.
Yeah, yes. That's almost a decade now. That's like 17 years. This is 17
so it's been so long. And how long is the census meant to be? Every census meant to be?
I think I can't remember. I don't know.
It be like 5 years apart.
It should not be up to 10 years. That's just it.
Exactly.
It should not be 10 years.
It's been so long, and right now we're not even sure if it's going to happen. But then, should this happen?
If you look at the logistics, it's not going to be easy. That money is not going to be enough. I agree that 217 billion, 200 and something bill will not work. It will not do what they want it to do. They are not going to even get accurate data.
So they're probably going to start estimating.
So you see,
I didn't say anything else.
No, that's basically what they will do now. It's like the data that all these whole organizations that used to go out there, get money and come to Nigeria as NGOs, they will start using numbers that are not right. Because I think that's where they used to get. Anyway, let's continue. Census, I feel, is going to be at least 250 million people. At least.
What if we will hit 300? Won't you be surprised?
I won't be surprised if we have I'll be surprised if it's less than 250 million. That's what the surprise.
If we are up to 300 million, I'll be super worried, and I'm going to actually finalize my Japa journey, my Japa master plan, because Nigeria is a large country, yes, but it is not large enough to for 300 million people. It's just not. That's just the truth. That's the truth about it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We are going to keep on experiencing so much hardship in this country.
But if you look at it, yeah,
the resources are not really being harnessed.
They're not managed.
You understand?
The way it's supposed to be managed, right? That's where the problem is.
Yes.
Nigeria on its own can handle 300 million people based on what it has, but then it's not based on what it has. It's based on how it is being managed. You get? So. Per capita, our economy is one of the best in Africa. Well, it is the best, I said, based on GDP alone. But per capita is one of the worst in Africa. You get, because you can't, that's for me, that's the best way to manage.
I once had a conversation with someone. This might be a little bit unrelated but related at the same time. That Nigeria's economy, if left to run on its own, it's going to be self-sufficient.
Yes,
if the government actually got out of the way, and just said, okay, let us see, let's laissez-faire, and then just allow everything run. It's going to run on its own, just based on what people are doing within the country, trade, freelance economy, what have you. Everything is still going to drive
just
the economy.
Let it happen the way it's supposed to happen.
Let it happen.
But then there's a lot of things that will happen, because when you say an uncontrolled area, a whole lot of things will happen. Crime, you understand? A lot will happen, but then that whole GDP per capita that I'm talking about is going to actually materialize.
Yes.
You understand? Because there's no restrictions to anything.
Yes.
A whole lot of things will flow. A lot of things will flow in this country. Just that we need management, and then those people that are managing that's where the problem is. I also say this: Nigeria has money, Nigeria has the resources, but it's not being managed well. That's just the problem. We are not being managed, and that's why I'll keep saying this. The 77 trillion that people were having a meltdown on, it was unnecessary. Why? Because Nigeria is a country where, trust me, if it's being managed well,
that's the debt profile of Nigeria, right?
Yes. If Nigeria is being managed well, the debt profile of Nigeria is going to be way more than that amount. Why? Because it's going to be attractive to investors. Investors are going to troop in ASAP. But see, they're going to load in more money. Why is that people are even at this unstable moment, people still invest in the country.
Yes, that's true.
They still invest in the company. Whether it's a company in the country.
Nigeria needs to be thought of as a company.
Yes, it should be thought of as a company, because
I feel like whoever is going to run Nigeria will do a perfect job if they're going to run Nigeria as a company.
Yeah.
Don't run Nigeria as a country. Run Nigeria as a company.
As a company, yeah.
So
do you know that Nigeria is the third country that has the most natural resources in the world? We have Venezuela, we have South Africa, we have Nigeria, we have Ghana.
That's why if you hear Chinese people in this country, there's something that some Chinese people say when I've had people that interact with them, people that come to Nigeria.
Yeah.
The Chinese literally say there is money on the floor in Nigeria.
Yes.
And they're wondering why people are not picking it up. That's what they say. You understand? I know that the Chinese are very, very resourceful people.
Yeah.
Before you know it, once they get into a place, boom, they've started something, and then they are raking in their money. Yeah. That's usually how it is when they get to other countries. So you mentioned attracting investors, so I think that should bring us to our next one, which has to do with the oil sector of Nigeria. So the current energy crisis in Europe, it's due to the fact that the rest of Europe is trying to cut off Russia. Russia is the main supply for oil in Europe. So the fact that the Russia-Ukraine crisis has been going on, and everybody basically tried to boycott Russia, but then they're feeling it. It's more like a strike. Let's think about it like as a strike now that happened in Nigeria. Lecturers went on strike just to protest something, you understand, against the government. And then the government also didn't pay them salary. They were suffering, you understand? But then they were still protesting their what's it called, their grievances and all that. So it's kind of like the same thing that's happening with the rest of Europe and Russia. Russia kind of like has one. Oh, let me call it a monopoly.
It's a monopoly.
It's a monopoly
It's not even
on oil supply in Europe.
Yeah.
You understand? So now that all that is happening, there's a real energy problem, and they are looking to other sources now. Nigeria remains one of the largest oil producing countries.
It's one of the top 10 countries.
Yes.
It's in top 10 countries.
Yes, even though our our production has fallen so bad. Right now, I think our production is about half of what we had in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So we have policies now, though, that are attractive to investors, and with the way things are going in Europe, they might start looking towards Nigeria, being, with the status that Nigeria has when it comes to oil production. They might start looking to Nigeria to, provide, to prop up that problem that they have, or to solve the problem that they have. So I think that Nigeria's oil production is actually going to increase this year. It's going to increase this year. We're going to supply more oil to Europe. We're going to export more crude oil, and we're going to have an increased crude oil production. Yeah,
I have a different take on that. That might happen, right? But the whole Nigeria's crude oil thing, yes, they know that we have crude oil, a good one. But the problem now is the fact that it's not managed well. And
Yes.
we know of that very, very, very well. Why? Because JP Morgan, of all people, has taken that whole, taking the Nigerian crude oil from its own portfolio, from its investment, whatever.
Wow.
Right? And that's huge. Because for a JP Morgan is basically Dangote. It's a big name in the banking industry.
Yes.
You
So
understand?
it can lead to
for
speculations.
for it to have lifted up that name from its portfolio, right? That is mad. That is huge, very big. So it's now investing into Nigeria's oil industry, right? It's a red flag at the moment. It's a big risk. You understand? So how many European countries are willing to take the risk? Apart from the risk set, you're looking at logistics.
No God's no glory.
You get
So
wait.
you have to take
Apart
the
from
risk.
that, you're looking at the management risk. You're looking at what's it called, logistical risk. So tell me, which one is more viable? Is it for you to just go to Middle East, let them use this the sea, European Sea, northern through Middle East down into Europe straight?
I mean, it's much closer.
Yeah, it's much closer. Or do you just follow go down through the Atlantic? Is it Atlantic, right?
Yes.
Or is it Pacific? Sorry, Atlantic.
The Atlantic is closer to us.
Yes. So you follow through Western Europe, then you come down to Western Africa, come down to Nigeria, then you pick your oil, take it back again. Which one is more closer to you?
It depends. It all depends on how
And
much
guess
oil
what?
you think you can get.
And guess what?
It all depends
And
on how
guess
much
what?
oil you think
The
you
only
can
way
get.
the only way that will work, right, if Nigeria reduces the price, and that will only work if Nigeria devalues its money again. So if Nigeria devalues its money again, right, they'll be able to compete with people, especially in the Middle East. And Nigeria really have to work on
currency.
on
We'll come to
refining-
currency
on-
prediction.
on
Now that you've talked
refinement.
about devaluation.
Yes. Because if that happens, if they devalue the currency, right, they are going to be able to compete with those guys. And I think Dangote refinery is going to be a huge help to Nigeria. A huge help. And don't forget, there's also fuel subsidy.
You're coming into that now.
Yeah.
So let's go. Thank you for bringing that up. So let's go into fuel subsidy.
Dangote is going to enjoy money.
You don't want to hear it.
This year.
You don't want to hear it. But there's going to be fuel subsidy removal. this year.
And whether you hate Dangote or not, he's going to make money from you on top of your head.
Leave Dangote. What is your issue with Dangote?
No, because a lot of people have complained last year, 2022 and 2021, about the monopoly that this guy has, blah 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 blah. You're going to read, if you've not seen Monopoly before, you're going to see Monopoly this year.
Wow. What kind of, that is just so mean.
No, that's just the truth.
So
that's the truth.
let me take us back to we are still on the fuel subsidy, but I want to relate it back to the presidential election. Every single one of the major candidates is in support of removal of the petroleum subsidy.
Yes.
It's not a situation where you have a person that is trying to say, okay, because this is the popular opinion. The popular opinion is to keep it. Understand? If the fuel subsidy is going to be removed, so many Nigerians are going to be unhappy about it.
Yeah.
But the truth is that there is right now. The truth is that there is what's it called? There's a fiscal deficit due to this whole petroleum subsidy every single time. Your fiscal deficit has to do with that's the difference between your total revenue and your total expenditure. You understand? So if your expenditure is more than your revenue, you know you are going to be in a deep deficit. You understand? And Nigeria is spending so much on subsidizing petroleum. Nigeria's petroleum is the 9th cheapest in the world. 195 naira is our current petroleum pump price. And as much as many of us think it is expensive compared to most other countries, ours is really cheap. Like I said, 9th cheapest. Take into consideration how many countries are actually in the world. Nigeria's own is the 9th cheapest. 195 naira. That's about 45 cents per liter.
And do you know how much it is in US? I think it's above $2. No mistaken.
Although theirs is per gallon, to be honest, I don't really understand their measurement system.
Per gallon.
I know it's not per liter.
If it's per gallon, it's more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more than $2.
So you expect that it's going to be removed. Many people. Peter Obi has said. Peter Obi has not been shy about it. He has said he wants to remove it. Atiku has said he's going to remove it if he becomes president.
Same thing with
Tinubu also plans to remove this subsidy. Even the current administration, Buhari's administration, also wanted to remove it.
Yes.
In fact, the removal might even come
before the new president comes in.
Who knows? Maybe by the current agreement now is running till June of 2023. So we are expecting that by July 2023 latest, understand, that subsidy will be removed, and that will even coincide with the new presidency. You understand? The new presidency will be about a few weeks old by then. Let's say maybe even a month. Let's just say a month. You understand? So we expect that one of their major actions, whoever the new president is going to push for the removal.
Because see, if you don't as a new president, if you don't remove that fuel subsidy, you're going to run the economy down. Especially that market.
Yes,
especially that sector in Nigeria. That oil and gas sector is going to really suffer. So that's just the truth. Let it run like a company. Sure, that's the reason why they privatized it.
Privatize NNPC.
Yes. So let it run as a company.
So that brings us to the currency pressures. You were talking about devaluation of the naira.
Naira is going to be devalued.
Well, before we hold it to all that, I mean, okay, I guess that's your prediction, but then let us look at other things. Let's look at other factors, starting from CBN's decision to redesign the notes, the decision to basically reduce money in circulation, and all that. How would that affect us, especially now in January, February? How does that affect us as Nigerians?
Well, the truth is, at the end of the day, I feel what they are doing is right. However, there's going to be a backlash at the end of the day. Businesses, a lot of good things will come out of it, a lot of bad things will come out of it. Bad things being that a lot of people are going to lose their money, a lot of cyber hacks are going to happen, a lot of Ponzi schemes are going to happen because of this whole thing, because people want to go cashless.
Yes.
Yeah, because businesses want to go cashless. You just see different tech companies coming up with different ideas to manage that kind of infrastructure, just to create an infrastructure around it, right? So, if they're serious about it, if they really enforce this, that will happen. A lot of solutions will come out, right? And I've been seeing a lot of companies from outside Nigeria that are into payment systems, that are into financial, cashless policies, that are hiring in Nigeria at the moment.
Okay.
Yes, especially tech aspects, tech ones and all that. And I'm also seeing banks thinking of bringing certain solutions for businesses. And I'm saying, okay, that's just what I'm seeing. You understand? That's how it's going to affect positively. Negatively, as I've already talked about how people are going to be scammed of their money, especially businesses, people that don't know stuff, right?
Yes.
So a lot of people are going to, sensitizations are going to happen from banks.
Yes.
Advertisements will happen, yeah. But see, get over it, yeah. Nigerians are going to get used to that naira notes. You understand? Whether you don't like it or not, you're going to get used to it. You understand? So that one is there. Then, oh my God, I wanted to see that. I wanted to say that we're gonna see crypto is going to be accepted back into Nigeria by CBN.
But yes.
That's what I'm seeing.
That's another thing that we should be talking about.
That might happen. That might happen, but I'll give you the 50-50 chance.
Yeah, Nigeria is just a 50-50.
Yeah, at the moment it's just a 50-50 chance. I don't see it happening. Maybe till after election.
Yes, a lot of things are actually
they are dependent on this election. Exactly. Yes. You understand?
Even inflation too. Right now we're experiencing some serious inflation,
right? It's at 18 point something now. Between 18 point something.
After the election, we're expecting to go down a little bit at least.
Not after the election. He said after the election. I feel it's going to be after the handover. After inauguration. That's after July 12th. Sorry, after June 12th. So that's what I feel, and I feel interest rates are going to go low after the inauguration.
Yes.
You get, so after the inauguration, inflation rate is going to reduce. Interest rate is also going to reduce.
So what about the value of the naira?
Value of the naira. It depends on how they want to perform in the market. As I said, the crude oil stuff, right? If they really want to perform in the market, they will have to really devalue the naira. Why? Because when they devalue naira, they become more competitive in the market. And I want to make this clear, yeah. When it comes to naira and devaluing, people used to have a problem with Nigeria devaluing. See, forget about how, we're a third world country, right? We are not a big country, so it doesn't matter whether we have a strong currency or not. The most important thing for us at the moment is for our products to be seen, for our products to be bought. You understand? One, we don't have processed products. The only thing we have is grains and all that. And guess what? No matter how Europe, as you said, oil is from Europe, and the largest amount of wheat being produced in the world is also from Russia. Not even Europe, from Russia.
Yes.
And one way or the other, because it's food, Russia have found a way to actually export wheat outside to Europe and other places, despite the sanctions and all that. So they are getting money from that if they are not getting money from oil. So I feel Nigeria, right? If it's going to perform better, we have to devalue the current naira, and that is basically what CBN are trying to work on, not to devalue, but I feel they're going to give in because IMF, World Bank have been telling them that is the best way to go.
Yes.
And they've been trying to fight it. So I feel they're going to give in. That's just it. And naira to dollar is going to be above 800, maybe 1,000.
But how do you think the year will end concerning that?
It's going to end strongly. It's going to actually end strong.
I also believe that naira will end strongly.
Yeah, naira will end strong, but it's up to. I keep saying it's up to how we perform in the market. That's just it. If we perform well, and our product is being preferred by more people, like just imagine if our products are now more packaged well, right? Our export are now packaged well. Trust me. Whether the naira is devalued or not, we don't even have to devalue it again because they prefer our product.
Yes.
So they would want quality more than anything.
Yes.
So that's it at the end of the day. So yeah, are we done with this? This prediction?
The last one is taxes.
Yeah, taxes.
Taxes will rise.
Oh, let me even talk. This talk. There's a lot of connection. There's a lot of connection that I have to make for this for people to understand this. Yeah. So he talked about budget deficits.
Yes.
Yeah, KB talked about deficits, right? So for that to happen, for that to be balanced, right, you need to increase tax. You understand? Except you want to redistribute wealth. And distribution of wealth is not something that the rich is going to happen. Especially, see, the market does not even want that self, because if it happens, it's going to destabilize everything we have this year.
Yes.
Because we're talking about census, we're talking about election. So no rich man would want to redistribute wealth, would even accept increase of tax.
But ordinarily, it is the taxes have most of these companies and firms and what have you, many of them, they don't pay as much taxes.
Yeah.
They don't pay the taxes that they actually do. That's it. Many companies, many rich individuals like set up offshore accounts so they can evade taxes and whatnot. Even some politicians actually do it. Some years back, it was even exposed.
So at the end of the day, I feel it's going to be the companies that are in the country, it's just small companies that are going to really face that, right? And yeah, that will happen just to service, and as I said, just to service debt, inflation rates is going to reduce. It's going to reduce after
the election.
After inauguration.
Yeah, after the inauguration, yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
But I still expect the inflation rates to be within double digits, though. It's not like it's
not going to come less than 15%. I don't think
15% is 15% is the prediction. It's going to improve, but it's not go past 15. That's how it's going to be.
As the best it can go down to maybe 12%. But man, it's not. Man, we've got too far, and the way these policies are going, I don't think it's going to reduce, because because we talked about interest rate being reduced. The more interest rate is reduced, spending habit is going to also increase. You get, so when spending habits also increase, you know what happens next. So
in short, to make a long story short, what is the prediction for Nigeria in 2023? My prediction is instability.
Instability too. Me too. Instability.
You know why we say that? Nigeria is not the kind of country where most people see the long game. I mean, sometimes
They're too impatient.
we've actually,
Too impatient.
I mean, I understand it. We've been burned too many times to, to trust any government. You understand?
Yeah, you can't blame us actually.
But all these things, I think, apart from all we said, I think the only thing that was kind of positive in the eyes of a normal Nigerian is that where I said that the production of crude oil is going to increase, there's going to be an uptick. But then majority of them have looked like doomsday predictions, that kind of stuff. So most Nigerians, obviously, when these things happen, Nigerians are not going to be happy about it. There are going to be widespread protests. NLC is going to be active this year, probably.
Very active.
There'll be strikes here and there.
Yes, we didn't even talk about that. I feel there's going to be another ASU strike.
Please just leave that one outside.
Hey, Kevin doesn't want to hear the ASU strike.
ASU going on the strike actually doesn't make any sense. This year, at least,
it doesn't make
zero sense
at all.
I wouldn't expect them to. I feel like they should be smart enough to know that it should.
Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen.
Nothing fruitful is going to come out of it. So that's why I feel like it shouldn't even be a topic of discussion to start with. I feel like, okay, maybe something that we've missed in this discussion was about security.
Yeah.
I feel like insecurity in Nigeria is also going to increase, especially come election time. There might be more cases of kidnapping, there will be more cases of violence and all that. We know that also there is serious hardship in the country. Part of the issues that we're having due to poverty, unemployment rate is very, very high. So these are factors that actually increase criminality. So there might be an uptick in armed robbery, there might be an uptick in banditry, kidnapping and whatnot. And to be honest, it kind of looks bleak because the Nigerian army is fighting a war on three major fronts. On three major fronts. And it makes I mean, I don't know if you followed historical wars. Anywhere where you see that an army is fighting on multiple fronts, that war is basically lost.
Yeah.
You understand? You can't be fighting multiple positions. Okay, like take a look at the World War II, for example. One of the reasons why Germany lost. They're fighting they're fighting at the back and at the front.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's not going to be easy. I mean, Nigeria has actually spent a lot. Of recent, the weapons buying. In fact, they call it a weapon buying spree. Most people, especially the West, they weren't trusting Nigeria with weapons, but still Nigeria has been able to procure some deadly weapons, and it has helped quite well in the whole fight against banditry. The whole bombardment of settlements where they've been hiding and stuff like that. All that is happening, but it still doesn't change the fact that the root cause is still there. Unemployment is still there. What's it called? High prices of everything. Poverty is there. You have many people not earning much money, but you have prices going up every single day. Every single day.
This is another episode on its own, yeah. But this employment thing, right? Do you know that a federal government starter is not being paid up to 50,000 naira?
Speaking of which, even the military people are underpaid, and many of them even lack motivation.
A lot of people are underpaid. Why? Because the government have actually tried just to give people jobs, right? They're not meant to give people a lot of people. Just imagine in an office, right? They're not actually meant to give people. You see 10 people inside that place working, but invariably they are only meant to actually
maybe have three.
Only 3. So what they are doing is that now the salary of the 3 people they are meant to give, they are giving for the 7 other people. So that is how people. That's why people are underpaid, just because they want to give more jobs out there. Yeah. So they don't increase the budget for salaries, but they increase the amount of people they want to employ.
That's very true.
That's what creates this unemployment. And the funny thing is that these people that have been given these jobs cannot go out there to the private industry to go and apply because they are not qualified.
Yes, that's true.
You get? And trust me, let me tell you this. The truth is, a whole lot of people are not qualified in Nigeria to work in the private sector. A lot of people are not qualified. A lot.
Like you said, this is a story for another episode.
This is a story for another episode. But
the episodes are forming themselves, I guess.
Yeah, they are forming themselves, man. So, guys, we wanted to also say something. We're going to actually come back and review this cashless policy, the CBN policy that has been created for the past since November, right? We're just going to review them.
Maybe by the end of the month, by February.
Yeah, or in February. Yeah, we're going to review the early stages of the implementations and see how it has actually, whether it has worked, whether it's a positive thing or not. So, guys, stay tuned and thank you very much. We know that this was a very long episode, but thank you.
There was a lot to unpack.
Yeah, there was a lot to unpack. So this is what you should look forward to this year. We're going to talk about a lot of these topics and more. Like whatever is inside this episode is basically what you're going to be hearing us talk about throughout this year. And maybe surprises more, right? Okay, guys. Have a good week. Enjoy this episode, and for people that don't consider my voice sexy, I consider it sexy, so that's enough.
Bye, guys.
That's enough.
Don't listen to this.
Bye. Take care of yourselves. Ciao.
That's a new problem.